All right, going live. Shh. I mean, not really. You know.
Oh, sorry. We are allowed to speak. Okay.
I'm tired.
Well, Ben might fall asleep on us.
I won't fall asleep. I did make a lemon drop in Mother's honor, so.
Oh.
Will that wake you up? To me, that sounds like it's going to put you to sleep.
Oh, no, it's so tart. Every time I take a drink of it, I get like an ice cream headache.
Oh.
What's the name of the song where she drops the name Lemon Drop?
Super Pop.
Super Pop, because that's how she rhymes, Super Pop.
Right.
That's a good song. I love Super Pop.
I love Super Pop.
It has such a little
forever.
Slamming little beat, and I love the rhymes. And if I was a man, I would be a dog. Arr, 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 arr. Like I love the little. It's so weird, Like it's got. Yeah, we should do an episode on just on Super Pop.
It's quippy.
We literally could do an episode on the unreleased and bonus tracks from Confessions. Next year when we're doing the Confessions 20 anniversary. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's yes.
Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna Louise Veronica Ciccone. Good evening, everyone, everybody. It's Liberty.
Well. If I was a drink, I'd be a lemon drop. Hey, everybody, it's Ben.
And hey, everybody, it's Stefan. Welcome to the final episode of 2024. Season 6 is wrapping tonight, and it's bittersweet. I wanted to call out first before we go any further. Sadly, Tony messaged us this morning saying he unfortunately got called away to work tonight and would not be able to join us. And since this is the only day we could plan to do this, we couldn't reschedule. So unfortunately, he won't be with us tonight. He's with us in spirit. But he did send me a small note to read to all of you. So I'm not going to do a Tony impersonation because I don't even know how to do that. But message from Tony is another year and another season of MLVC. I'm so grateful for all of you listeners. We love hearing from you, whether it's to offer your opinion or support. We do this podcast for you. I'm proud of this community we've created, and sharing it with Stefan, Liberty, and Ben means everything to me. Have a great new year, and we will catch up with you in 2025. So,
Yay.
snaps for Tony.
Snaps for Tony.
You're here with us. So, we're going to do a little Madonna Year-In-Review, just some of our personal favorite highlights that Madonna has given us in the last 12 months. But before we do that, we thought it would just be fun, since this is technically our holiday spectacular, that we would do a little Madonna holiday wish list. So it's sky's the limit. Whatever you would love for Madonna to gift us in 2025. Liberty?
Ooh, I get to go first.
You go
first.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the one that everybody wants, which is new music. I think that we're ready, and we've been waiting, and we've been good little boys and girls, and I think that it is time for us to be hearkened to the dance floor. So new music, we're waiting.
Fingers crossed for that. I hear. Mm-hmm. Santa Claus.
That's
if you're
right.
Listening. Ben, what about you? What would be on your Madonna holiday wish list?
You know what? I was thinking about this earlier today, and yeah, new music would be great, sure. But I kind of think, because I want to see her engaged in that way, and we really haven't seen it since the first Trump era. I'd like to see her engage in some sort of like visual art interactive project, right? Like Secret Project Revolution or something like that. Yeah, I kind of want to see that. I want to see her like engaging with like her core ideas and meeting them with sort of contemporaneous thinking about politics and the world today. And, you know, yeah, that's what I would like to see.
I could.
I want that woman who was giving all those interviews around the Truth or Dare time and just like telling it like it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want that energy.
Yeah. Like, let's hear it.
Okay, so I mean, as we all know, I've held a 12-month long position
Torch.
on a 12-month long campaign or 6-year long campaign for new Madonna music. So I won't say that. What I will say is if we were Madonna wish list, what's one thing that we wish she would give us in 2025? I would love a new documentary, a trio. So it would be Truth or Dare, I'm going to tell you a secret, and whatever the new one is. I would love that. I think that would be, of course, it would accompany a new album, but
Yes.
I would love a documentary. I think that would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's our Madonna Holiday wish list. If you're listening live or watching live, drop into chat what you would like as a Madonna Holiday wish list, and we'll check back in with. Oh, are they all ready?
We are already getting answers.
Go ahead, hit us.
Oh, new album,
It's obviously
tour and video and audio. Actually, there were several people in agreement with me that we would like to see something avant-garde.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then several people have mentioned the reissues. Also waiting as long as Stefan has been for new music.
Oh, I feel like the reissues is her trolling us hardcore. You know, it's just like I'm gonna drop a press release and just never deliver.
Yeah, pretty much.
maybe they meant for the 50th. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of. I think we as fans have a laundry list of Madonna wish lists. You know, it's. I mean, it could be, it could be so much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, it's just to see her, basically, just to see her doing some, something new, and even if it is something new to promote something older, I'd take that.
Yeah, for sure.
Engagement, if we want to put it in the social media era parlance.
I want more Madonna selfies, and I want
fewer TikToks.
Well, I don't mind the TikToks, but none of us will have those anyway in 2025 after January 19th. So don't worry.
Okay, well, there's that too.
Oh my God. We'll see. It's going to get crazy.
It is. 2025 is going to be one for the books for sure.
Buckle up, kids. Well, before we have to worry about 2025, let's look back on 2024. Madonna did a lot of things this past year, and I think it's always good to sort of look back and take stock and appreciate what we did get. Let's start chronologically, if we will, and I think we all have our own favorites picked out. But I'm going to start off with one of mine, which I think is very on brand for me. I'm going to say I'm happy that back in February, Madonna and The Weeknd unveiled a video for Popular, because as we all know, I adored me some Popular. I know I'm in the minority here on this show for that, but I think it was. Look, I'm always happy that we get some new visuals from Madonna, and she looked amazing in that video. That big oversized coat and her poker straight hair, and
yeah. I mean, listen, one can't deny that. Even though the release was a little delayed from the actual hype of the moment for the song, good for her that she was feeling well enough to do that, first of all, and well enough to, give it to the youngins on Fortnite, especially because, hey, that's, and listen, Popular with, what is it, 1 billion streams now on Spotify? So I'm wrong, kids. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it was a strange rollout that it came so late after the song, considering the song had been out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, it's uncharted territory, as we all know, the music
Right.
industry. You know, like I think they're all just trying to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks at this
Yeah.
point. So maybe there was
it's uncharted, all
you know,
right.
like there were no plans. Maybe there were no plans to do a video, and then months later they were like, "Hey, let's do it." You know?
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, they saw that it was tracking well and said, "I think a
Yeah, I
visual."
mean, I think it's her first song she's ever been part of that's hit over 1 billion streams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'd like to think that that's due in part, obviously, because of The Weeknd and maybe Playboy Cardi, even though I don't really know who that is. But
I think it's because she filmed her part on the set of some sort of YouTube video for like New York real estate. And it just caught the trend.
yeah. What do we have next? What's up next? Oh,
Ooh, the photo shoots of 2024.
yes.
She was on the cover of Re-Edition with the actor Alberto Guerra. She did, as Stefan has before all of you, she had the amazing sort of retro bedtime stories that we still have not seen beyond the Instagram. So what happened with that? Yeah.
Well,
And
but maybe that's part of this bedtime story, like what's coming with the bedtime story thing. Like maybe she did these shoots and it's maybe there, I don't know. Again, I don't know why it would take this long, but like maybe there's some sort of like bedtime story re-release or I have no idea.
I feel like they were just testing some lighting and makeup.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. And then of course, we've only seen the hint of it with the nun and the devil lady with the lighter that we saw on TikTok, and then of course this AI beauty behind me, her probably final photo shoot of the year, where I was like, is she commemorating Immaculate Collection on an off year? You know, remember that was dedicated to the Pope.
Yeah, and she's kind of been dropping Pope in a couple of so I'm kind of wondering if there's some very maybe we're gonna get something on Christmas Day.
Can you imagine? Honestly, okay. So everyone, I was going to say this at the end of the show, but I'll say it now since Liberty just said it. Although this is our season finale, we aren't going to leave you hanging. Like if she drops something Christmas Day, I'll have my laptop with me, and I'll be like, Mom, sorry, I got to leave Christmas dinner. We're going to go podcast.
Yes.
Like we won't be abandoning you in a time of need like that. Like,
no.
If there's a surprise, anything within the next couple of weeks,
I suspect one of the characters in the photo shoot that's probably coming out soon probably is the Pope, and like some hot, sexy Pope shirtless model. I'm okay with that. Like,
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Bring me the hot, sexy Pope. I mean, Jude Law from that TV show. Hello. Yeah, I'm into it, but I don't know how I feel about this. Is actually the first time I was like okay with an AI photo. I was like, I typically am completely against that on ethical and artistic reasons, but then I saw this and I was like, that is so stupid. It like because she would never have been able to do that. Even the best Photoshop would not have been able to pull that off just because of how AI generate, like how the images are scanned and turned into vectors and the vectors are put back together, and it doesn't only that technology could have created this image and make it look real.
It's actually quite good. I mean,
it's startlingly good.
I don't know if it's actually full AI though. Like I feel like maybe AI combined a real picture of her and a real picture of the Pope.
Well, that's what I mean.
She looks insanely realistic in that picture.
But but you can do that with that DALL-E, right? Like if you have it scan the photos and then say, I forget what the command terms are, but you can go in and edit it in the prompt. Oh yeah. Ricardo spent like at least half a day on this. So
Wait,
yeah.
I thought somebody
I
else
thought it was a
tagged in
fan.
it.
Yeah, I thought it was a fan photo.
Oh, whoever did it, like they spent
Yeah.
a good half day writing prompts and figuring it out because the lighting is correct, the shadows are correct. Like they spent some stuff you wouldn't be able to do even now in like InDesign and Photoshop. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
good.
impressive.
It's good.
And also hilarious. Like I shouldn't like it, but I just find it so funny.
Yeah, no, it is hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny and hilarious in that RuPaul's drag race. That's so stupid kind of way, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to her photo shoots, obviously she was really busy, and it's bizarre to even think about this, but like the first 4.5 months of this year, she was still on tour. She wrapped the 81 date celebration tour in Rio back on May and first week of May, and that is one of my highlights. I think for everyone being able to watch that and see that accomplishment, it's huge. It was huge for her career wise and huge for her legacy wise, and it was huge for fans. I think it was huge for Brazil. It's just, I'm excited to see. I really hope we get a official release of the Rio show as it was presented. Maybe a few less beach shots, but otherwise, just give me that level of editing, and then let Jonas Åkerlund and his edited version be all crazy and whatnot. But I think that was such a wonderful moment for her.
Oh yeah. I mean, and really, I've just loved seeing a lot of people have been sharing their, this was the first night I went to Celebration Tour, because it's now coming on a year for a lot of folks.
Right.
And I've been really, because I haven't watched much since Rio, just kind of out of heartbreak that that there's no more to go to, I guess. And so seeing the videos kind of resurface, and even I posted mine even on one of my stories, like a concert or if you saw your idol in concert this year or something. And I thought, oh my gosh, like that was such a good show. And she pulled it off. I mean, she did it. So it's so cool. It's just so great that she was able to take 81 shows on the road to all of us who are hardly deserving of her love. Well, some of us are, but Yeah.
No, it was good. I know it's amazing to think that coming up, it's the Santa Claus show. It'll be a year.
That's right. Yeah.
It'll be a year since the Santa Claus show, which of course I'll be reposting my wonderful.
Of course you will,
as I should. What's up next, Liberty? I think you got the next one.
I do, and I was just about to say, because it was monumental, really, for the song "Like a Prayer," having been lent to Deadpool and Deadpool versus Wolverine. I guess I should say the whole thing, and how everybody sort of fell in love with that song and the versions in the film, which are actually startlingly good, especially if you listen to them like I've been in the car. They're so, like, if you get it loud, obviously in the film it was like that, right? Because it's like larger than life in the moment. But I've been loving, again, also on TikTok, a lot of people have been like reusing the meme or using the song with this meme, and it's like this sort of haggard looking Muppet guy, and they tell like a little story, like how it's implying like how I looked like during this event, I guess, whatever thing that they're telling in the story with that music playing. So yeah, I just really enjoyed that. I was excited to see it in the movie theater and excited to see all the ways it was used in the film, and excited to see how it had changed, but it was even more powerful, maybe almost the feeling of it. Because the choir, the choral aspect is just so sweeping, and I just loved it. What did you guys think about that moment?
Yeah, It's been great for that song. I
Yeah.
really think that Like a Prayer is, I mean, it's always been an epic Madonna song. And I think watching Like a Prayer during the Celebration tour, I remember every time I'd watch that number and hear that heavy bass line and just watching that carousel of those gorgeous bodies hanging while she would make an appearance. Every time I saw that, I was like, this is rock and roll. Like,
So rock and roll.
Madonna this is like, she might be pop and that song might be pop, but for some reason, that number on Celebration, I was like, this is fucking rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so badass and just amazing. And that Deadpool appearance of that song, I felt has just elevated it and given it another life. It's everywhere now. I see it. I just saw somebody sent a video over that, like, somebody was at a wedding reception and they started popping champagne and shaking champagne and everyone was getting wet. And the whole entire wedding ceremony, reception, was singing Like a Prayer for some reason. So I think it's surpassed her even now. Like it's so part of the zeitgeist, the vernacular, the like society now. It's like the song has transcended her. It's
Right.
just part of the fabric of our lives. I know it sounds so over the top, but I think it's true.
Well, somebody in the chat mentioned that, and I remember seeing this news story about the controversy about several Christian choirs were using the song, and then their little people were finding out about the video and the history of it, and the conflict there. And it's like, okay, even people who on the principle should be diametrically opposed to that song and her character and person cannot deny the music, right?
Yeah.
And the art and the thing that was created there. For me, though, I listened to that story and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could have been in the room when those little special people were watching that video, because they all got like woo, deep inside, like anyway.
The fuzzies they'd been feeling in the gospel weren't as fuzzy anymore. Yeah, I mean, look, I kind of got irritated at their appropriation of the song, and then I thought, you know what? Who cares? Like, honestly, let them discover, because they're so wrong about so many things that this is just another sort of notch in their wrong about this kind of thing belt, and it's another FAFO, if you will. That they just play with the song and then they find out that it means something different.
Well, how
Right.
ridiculous. Like, they hear Like a Prayer and they're like, a Christian song. It's like, really, people?
Well, if you don't actually know who she is and think about it, we're at this point almost 2 generations removed from the original core fan base.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, like a 12-year-old doesn't know who she is. They're going to hear that song, especially if there's some sweet little Christian kid from East Tennessee. They are not going to have a clue who she is and what that song is actually about. Plus, so much of the meaning and context and subtext of it is put upon both by its original listeners and then subsequent listeners. I mean, think about how many different ways she has reinterpreted it in shows, right? Mm-hmm. Like, even from the video to how it was performed in Blonde Ambition, completely different presentations. So, I don't know.
I guess
I'm
it just
okay.
seems strange that, like, the choir director wouldn't do a little research to be like,
but people are so lazy.
This
like,
religious song by a woman named Madonna. Oh, she must be a good Catholic woman. Let's sing her song at choir. I mean,
it's got to have been like a watch this. Hold my holy water.
Right.
Well, exactly. Like,
I'm gonna make him sing this song.
Again, this is where you get into like the span of time, and just people are just not, for all the access to information we have, that doesn't mean that people have the knowledge.
No.
Right?
We are actually much dumber now. That's a result.
Yeah.
It was probably some closeted gay choir boy who was like, I'm going to tell them
having a giggle.
This is a Christian song, and watch, we're all going to sing it, and everyone's going to no one's going to know.
Yeah, exactly.
So somebody in the chat literally just typed, Like a Prayer can easily be heard as a song about religious surrender and religious ecstasy. It transcends its history.
Okay. Not wrong. I mean,
Yeah, correct.
But
Yeah.
but we all know
double entendre.
Mother. Yeah, we all know Mother and what she really meant when she was singing it. You know.
That's why we love her.
That's why it's probably one of my very favorite of all time. Like, it's a top 5 song for me for sure.
Yeah.
The Deadpool versus Wolverine versions are exceptional, and yeah, any way that this song appears, I always, you know.
I have
good.
to say, after the person that typed that comment, the next comment in the chat was "Baby Jesus on the stairs."
Oh my God! Yes.
I love it. Oh, our listeners are wonderful.
Next up, I thought my highlights for Madonna this year was the way she just served some looks at those high-profile appearances she made at New York Fashion Week. Like, she was turning it out.
Yeah.
There was multiple looks that we got. I mean, I think the one most notably was that like almost double sunglass look with those huge shoulder pads that she had. But yeah, like she was serving it up. And I think that's one of the things that I love is that like she can take something so simple like an appearance at a fashion show and she'll put on, and I mean, she was just morphing from show to show to show.
Yeah.
It was like she had showed up really super casual, I think, at that one like off-white show where she was just in like some sort of like flannel and denim look. And then the next night she was doing that show where she sat next to Ice Spice, and that was where she had the double glasses and the shoulder pads and that dress. And then like the following night she was at like Dolce & Gabbana, or like following week I think she was Dolce & Gabbana in Italy and was wearing that black veil outfit.
Oh right, I forgot about
like,
that.
It was
How
like,
could I forget?
It was just nonstop, like plethora of outfits. And I think it just harkens back to the reason why she's been able to stay in the like global consciousness as long as she has, is she's always reinventing and always bringing something fresh and new. And that's why we love her, one of the reasons.
Yeah. Plus she looks hot. I mean,
Yes.
she's just incredible. She looks insane. And, obviously having seen her in person not too long ago, it hurts to look at her because she is so beautiful. But, in those looks, when you get these photographs, and of course there's always like just a couple extra that they'll throw in either stories or posts. And I think like, I wouldn't be able to stop staring at her if I was in her midst. Like it just couldn't. She looks fine no matter.
Well, you did, Liberty. I mean,
I didn't.
When we were at our final Celebration Tour show, I would go over to you in the Sound Factory pit every now and again to try to be like, Liberty, and you were just like, and then just focus back on Madonna. Like you'd literally just give me a little nod, like, get the fuck away from me, and then like
right.
focus back. And I would just let you have your moment. But I was like, let's sing and dance for like a second, and then you were like, get away from me.
I don't get more than a couple of hours with Madonna every few years, so.
True.
If she's there, I'm hyper focused, and I mean, who can blame me? I know the chat understands what I'm trying to say here.
Well, and you know what I think I also love about the New York Fashion Week appearances, and this is with any paparazzi photos that we get from her, is they're not face-tuned or filtered, because that's the rule with not unspoken, but it's a rule with paparazzi photos that you cannot Photoshop or distort those photos in any way, shape, or form, because all paparazzi photographers have to operate on a level playing field. That way one photo doesn't look better than another. So all of those photos are not retouched in any way, shape, or form. And so therefore she looks like her. And I think I love that the most. As much as I love these beautiful photos that are sitting behind me during our live episode right now, I mean, I still think, but Ben just put up one of the photos that I'm talking about. That's the Ricardo photo. So she's filtered a little bit on that, because any photo that comes from
she still looks amazing.
But she does look, but that's what I mean. Like when you see those paparazzi photos, she looks amazing in person. So it's just weird that they have to filter her at all.
Look, guys, Brittany says that they can edit and make people look really bad.
Oh dear, I'm not up on what did Brittany say? Is this recent?
She said that probably like 2 months ago on her as another post about how awful the paparazzi always make her look and how the media just makes her look awful all the time. And that's not really how she appears. Also, she's moving to Mexico. So there's that.
I thought that was fake. I thought I had read that she's not moving to Mexico.
Oh my God. Let's talk about what's
okay. That's Brittany 2024 pod.
Oh, that poor woman. It's can't.
Sad.
Let's move on to
Next.
the other photo we haven't talked about yet behind
Moving
Liberty.
on, yes. Glorious moment when I was in the studio with Madonna. Just kidding. That's Stuart. Okay, fine, whatever.
Wish.
Back in the stew with Stuart, making new music to maybe not making new music.
She didn't
we
say
don't
making
know.
new. She did not say making new music. If she had said making new music, but
no, but I was going to say for Britney to spin around too. But I think, I mean, we didn't know, and we still do not know if they were just doing edits for the potential tour release, or perhaps a little mixing up something fresh and funky and exciting for us hungry caterpillars out here. I don't know. What did you guys think after all? What do you think now that we're a couple months removed from that? What do we think it was?
I said when we had the original episode about it that if they were editing for the tour film, they would have had one of the monitors would have had the footage with.
They'd have to.
And we have this software at work for the students, and I don't remember what it's called. But it's like the music production with all the different things that you always see, but it's different because there's like several rows where you have to, it like counts the digital frames with the music. That was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
So unless she was just like sweetening the vocals for the audio only for like the streaming of it, maybe then, but like they were not syncing that with the tour footage at all. So
no. Yeah, I agree. I still, I mean, in my dreams, I like to believe that this was for new music. I mean, her and Stuart, if they didn't make new music, shame on them.
Yeah.
Like, come on, kids. You're like, she spent multiple sessions going into the studio with Stuart Price. They were on the road for a year working on that show, and to not have like, I'm sorry, I don't believe that
I just had an idea. What if the project is both new music and like something avant-garde? Like, what if they did remember the mixtape that they put out the weekend? What if it was like new lyrics but not really songs, and it was just like a hour-long like snippets and like new music and like kind of like a mixtape, but like I would be into that.
I fully support that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of on brand for Stuart. I mean, look how Confessions kind of was one song into another.
It was like,
I've changed my wish for 2025. That's what I want. I don't just want like a secret Project Revolution. I want like a weird spoken word singing, not actual song structure mixtape. There we go.
Sort of like FKA Twigs Asexua, where she was like,
oh my God, that piece of music is so good.
But you know what I mean? Like, I would love to have some sort of visual album mixtape type of experience where it's like, let's just say it's like 20 minutes of just different. I mean, you could 3, 6, 9, 12. Like, you could fit like 5, 6 songs in 20 minutes if they were short enough, and they just like it's weaving and going and this, that. And I mean, because look, Girlfriend's been really quiet lately. Like she posted that Thanksgiving recap back on December 2nd on her Instagram, and it is 15 days now, and she has not posted anything.
Yes, but she's been on TikTok.
But I think she stockpiles those. I don't think those TikToks they're not in real
She should
time.
burn
You can put
them.
it in drafts, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could have been there for a while. Although, look, I think it's easy to forget that while the first half of her the first, like, let's say, 2/3 of her 2024 were fast and furious. I mean, she was go, 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 and it was a lot of highlights and a lot of great things. And then October sort of slows her down a bit. Things are a little bit more challenging for her. So personally, and I don't take for granted that she draws inspiration from things that are usually painful in nature for her. I mean, a lot of her inspiration comes when she's been through something major or life changing. It could be that, perhaps Rocco's show, this big debut for him and in Paris, I think that it could have sort of reinvigorated a little bit of her sort of artsy avant-garde side. This, I am an artist. And maybe some of the unfortunate recent events that had happened, in her personal life, they could be drawing her into creativity. And to really be in a creative space, it's difficult to be public, I would imagine, because you don't want the outside to really break into your inside for fear of maybe losing the momentum or even the thing on which you're drawing to create.
Yeah. Well, and like you were alluding to, so Ben, you had picked some more emotionally based moments from 2024 that you felt resonated with her.
Well, yeah, just her brother passing. Like, we all of us, I mean, everybody knows that we have, like, obviously we with the podcast have like a group chat, and we were talking about it immediately and wanted to do the episode, but wanted to be respectful and wait and do it. And I actually re-listened to that episode like a couple weeks ago on the elliptical, because I alternate between catching up on my podcast and watching live Madonna concert footage. Because if I'm slow on the elliptical, I just have to watch the 1989 Express Yourself VMAs performance, and it totally gets me going. Like, I'm ready. And it's interesting to think about just grief and sorrow and loss and what it means for yourself when you lose people, and then how that changes when other people experience that, especially people that but then we don't really know her. We didn't really know Christopher, but we feel like we do because we've had all these glimpses. And yeah, that was a really good episode. Like, we really talked about that kind of stuff without making it icky.
Yeah, well, it was salacious.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gratuitous.
No, but I just mean, like, being honest about how it made everybody feel. And I think that's important. And, it's such a big thing as we exit 2024, and it just feels like the whole world is like, I mean, I don't know about you two, but for me, I feel like I'm about to be shoved back into like 1987, socially,
Worse.
politically, culturally, and yeah, I just don't know how to react to that, and to think about loss and people who went through that time period also and came out and were doing all these amazing things. It's just, yeah, that was a huge thing for her, and I like that she mostly kept it private. Like, we found out later that she had known and they had reconnected, and she was obviously taking care of everything. But those people who know all the stories of all the people in her entire life. that she has swooped in and like taken care of their medical care and been at their
Right.
bedside. Everybody from Martin to Christopher, Christopher, oh my God, I just forgot his last name, the
Flynn.
dance teacher, Flynn,
Mhm.
you know, to Keith and everybody. And just, yeah, it's like, and then I started thinking about, oh my God, like that's been her life for how many years? And just how do you get used to that, right?
Right.
Like that's just so crazy. It's so crazy. And so then I think, oh God, and we're like, oh, we want a new album, but maybe she just needs the time to like,
Yeah.
I mean, she lost two of her brothers this year. Did Tony die this year or last year?
I don't think it was
I
this
I think
year.
it was
That
last
was
year.
last year. Yeah. And, you know, and then Joan, which for all the hubbub about, you know, where Joan came into the different projects, like she clearly liked Joan, loved Joan, had like a mischievous affection for her.
Sure.
Sure.
So,
And listen, at the end of the day, she loves her father, and
yeah.
you you go, I would imagine you kind of have an understanding like, okay, yes, this is hard for him. And you know, at Thanksgiving, I was so happy to see that she had reconnected with her kids, with her dad, that she's there and sort of taking stock. And then this cute selfie she shares of her dad the other day, my dad's first selfie. And
Yeah.
there's a fragility of life that I think she's kind of really looking at in the last couple of months, 2 months or so. And it's partly familial, but it's also professionally. I think she's feeling, I guess, an attack, right? I can't do what I want to do with my film, and things are like, why is it always happening like this to me? Why can't it just be easy? And it's almost that, you know, that prophetic thought that, you know, well, you spoke it into existence, Madonna, because you said you didn't want an easy ride, and here it is. You know, all of these big challenges that she's facing have, hopefully, she's taking time to really like evaluate what her next steps might be without feeling like pressured or rushed. Obviously, yeah, I said, oh, I want new music. At the end of the day, if Madonna's not happy, ain't nobody happy. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe she's somewhere listening to Keep It Together.
maybe with a lemon drop in her hand.
I hope she's got a lemon drop.
Well, and Liberty, you had mentioned it as well, but I think, Ben, also one of your highlights was the Paris Art Show for Rocco.
Oh yeah. Again, speaking like to what, and I liked what Liberty was saying about her dad. Also, do you think her dad originated that expression, or did she, and she got him to do it for the selfie? I love that they were both making that sort of like eyes up face. I was like, did he originate that and she got it from him, or did she get him to do it for the photo? Anyway, that was super cute. But yeah, like I like that she traveled to Paris to be there for the show. Just like I maybe some people don't like it, but I love it when she shares Esther's mixtapes. Like I go and listen. I'm like, is it my thing? I'm like, well, I'm not 14, so probably not, but I'll give it a listen when I'm on the treadmill or the elliptical, you know. And yeah, also Rocco is an artist. I'm like, okay, it's progressing and going somewhere interesting. And
It is.
he's not relying as heavily on sort of like the performance art. Like when he did the whole like hunky shirtless painting the lady thing a couple years ago, I was like, what are we doing? Oh my God. But the gallery exhibit and some of the stuff you could find online, I was like, okay, if I was filthy rich, I might buy one of those. But yeah, it was cool.
I think back to, what was that, in 2012 or something like that, when she did Between the Bars, and it was
Secret Project Revolution. Yeah.
Was that the night? And then Rocco was there. I can't help but think about the influence that she has had on Rocco's view of art, and how he has, I mean, obviously it's within him already. It's sort of just lives there. But
Leo energy.
yeah, having performed with her, it gives him the confidence to do these shows. I caught, was it on Instagram when he had this, he with Vogue, France, right? Where he's speaking in French. And I was just like, I forget that he can do that. Like, I don't know why. It's Madonna's kids. Like, I think they all speak French, but, I just think it's so cool because, or even remembering at the MDNA tour, I see him bouncing around on the stage and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Rocco's, I would love for that one day to be me and my kids, like just performing together or something. That's got to be the most insane pride, like giving thing for her to see him blossom in this way, or all of her children, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's given them the opportunity. They're surrounded by artists.
Right.
She's got world-class paintings in her houses, and she's one of the largest or finest personal art collectors in the world. So
Right.
the kids are exposed to it from the moment they grow up, and they're surrounded by artists because she's surrounded by artists. So it's got to rub off, and I'm glad that it does. I'm glad that they
Same.
do sort of like take good things out of that.
Right.
It's funny you say that about her collection. I totally forgot about this. Where was I? It was when I was in New York City last November, and we went to see something, and I was like, why does this seem familiar? And I looked at the catalog, and it was that fake company that Madonna uses to license her collection out to exhibits and museums. It was at the oh my God, it's up by the UN, the Japan Society of New York, and they were doing like an exhibit about Yoko Ono and several other artists, and there was a piece in there, and I'm like, that looks so familiar. I know I've seen that somewhere, and it was from Madonna's personal collection.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh wow, so yeah,
That's fun.
2024. Well,
Good
that
for
was
her for lending
2023,
it
but
out.
whatever. Oh yeah, like. God, can you imagine what she should just open a museum with all her art?
I want a costume exhibition of
Well,
all
that
of her.
too.
Like again, I know we already gave our Christmas wish list. If I was going to expand that, I want like a costume exhibition just for her, like tour outfits,
Yeah.
or like just like some of her like tour outfits and iconic Madonna. Like I don't know if I got to see the Gautier exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum when that was out a few years ago, a couple years ago, many years ago, whenever that was. And it was just so fascinating to be able to go up and see the clothes in such intricate detail and how it was made and put together, to see that creative process up close. And I would love to be able to do that with some of her outfits, like they had two of her bustiers there that Gautier had done for her, so that was fun to see. But like I want all of her outfits, like just to see that up close and personal would be heaven. They just
I want to
yeah.
smell them. I want it to be smell-o-vision.
I don't think you're allowed to get that close.
I want to get that close. Bottle it. I will buy it.
VIP tour, come on.
Yep, VIP.
What they can do is like they can sort of replicate the smell, right? And then
Put
they
it
have it
in
like
a bottle
pumped
in the gift shop.
in the gift shop,
Yes.
but it's also pumping through the like the vents, which are obviously set to a very high temperature so that it can be authentic.
Like an Abercrombie and Fitch store back in the 90s,
Absolutely.
where it was like you were just assaulted with the
If
smell
you
of
bottled
fear.
her scent, what would you call it? Like it could, but like it would be sort of like armpit, because she's always sweaty, but not poppers.
I would call it physical attraction.
Oh, good. See, this is why you're the branding person here. Yeah, physical attraction.
Somewhere I
like
have
that.
the Truth or Dare perfume somewhere around here.
What did it smell like?
It's very strong, real sweet. And it's strangely, it smells a lot like a male cologne that I don't know what it is, but there was a student that I had who always wore it. And I even asked him one day, I was like, are you wearing Truth or Dare by Madonna? He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. Never mind.
No, and we're never going to talk about this again.
That is too
Oh my God, you
funny.
guys, I actually had one student like, oh, I really like the Finally Enough Love album. I wore the hoodie to school the other day. It was a highlight of my year. One boy, he knew what it was.
Cute.
Yeah.
Aw.
Did you tell him about the
Success.
podcast?
Briefly, I kind of I try to keep. I mean,
Separate.
I mentioned like, oh, I'm a huge fan and I'm part of a like podcast. Oh, that's cool. You know,
Yeah.
he really, I think he knew
Yeah.
it because his mom is a fan, which also like that also intrigued me because I was like, do I have a new bestie? Like, I need to know more about your mom.
Your next parent teacher conference, you're like, oh, you're a huge Madonna fan.
Yes.
I'm on a Madonna podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
That's
it's so
funny.
cool.
Oh, that's too cute.
Well, yeah, so that's our year in review of Madonna. I mean, obviously there was many, many more things that we glazed over. Those were just our highlights of things. And obviously from a podcast perspective, we spoke to many, many people over the last couple of months. Tonight commemorates our 61st episode this season.
Wow.
Which ironically is the same exact amount of episodes that were produced last season. Totally unintentional, unplanned, yet perfectly in sync somehow. I don't know how that happened.
Wait, okay, because of the tour episodes, that's
Yeah.
how we got
Yes,
more than one a week.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The tour episodes sort of doubled the amount of, it was Fast and Furious there. It's funny how that worked out. But before we go, I did want to give each of us a moment to sort of have a little final say for our season 6, some parting words. Ben, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. I mean, I guess I just hope that everybody has, before next year becomes what it's going to become, I hope everybody has time to like go to the happy place, whatever your happy place is for the holidays, be it family or friends, chosen family, or even a secluded cabin in the middle of nowhere, and that you turn your phone off unless it's the only way you can play Madonna music. But even then, you can turn off the cell service and just have it on the Wi-Fi or download all the music before you go off of the data. And you sit and listen to your favorite albums and maybe like read a couple books. Like, yeah, that's what I wish for.
Yeah.
Honestly, Julio's book that we interviewed last week, highly recommended. Like, definitely once that's available, if you can even get it as an ebook and put it on your little tablet and read it while you're in your secluded space, highly recommend it. I have a stack of novels I'm going to read. I rarely get to read novels anymore. I mostly just read nonfiction and poetry. So I'm excited. I have like some highbrow literary fiction, and then I'm going to read some trashy gay novels. I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope somebody's having nasty sex in one of them. I can't wait. So, but I'm going to be
right
listening
away.
to
I was going to say right away, you need to tell me the title of that book.
Oh, if it's that good, I will be texting you. So
Drop it in the chat.
Yes, in the group chat. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, I just hope everybody like takes that time for like that self-enrichment through the arts and through Madonna and revisit your favorite moments on YouTube if you can too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Liberty?
Yes, I do have something special to say. First of all, I just want to say thank everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And you've made a lot of my dark days light, just the community looking forward every day to an MLVC post of some variety or another. And then just reading people's comments. And those who follow me and sometimes send me messages, I just want to say thank you for that, because sometimes you say things that like affirm a little bit, that I'm not just a crazy person, crazy fan. You affirm also me as a singer, because you guys have really warmly received so many of the creations that Stefan and I labor over, fight over, and otherwise poke each other's eyes out over. And we are still working on stuff. By the way, there are things coming. I have just been so busy, but I'm going to take Ben's advice, and I'm going to retreat a little bit in the brief 2-week period that I have off, and I'm going to take stock of all of the special things and talents and joys and wonders that do exist, because I think they're going to fuel me in 2025, and I think that they'll fuel all of you too. If you need a word of encouragement, you always can rely on me, because I'll be there for you. And to the both of you, I thank you so much for giving me my space to be myself and to complain here and there, and to never like new stuff immediately and still like me. That'll live forever, but I think it's all been worth it. And you, Stefan?
I scripted what I was going to say just because I didn't want to forget anything. So to everybody watching and listening, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to have space in your lives. When we started this show 6 years ago, we never would have imagined it would grow and evolve into what it has become, nor did we ever in our wildest dreams imagine that we'd still be podcasting about a woman who we find entertaining and thought-provoking and inspiring and oftentimes impossibly stubborn. But like life, Madonna remains unpredictable, and I guess because of that unpredictability, she creates a perfect environment to theorize and hypothesize and wonder and debate about what she's planning or what she's creating. So thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us into your homes or your cars or your workouts or wherever it is that you enjoy this show. A very special thank you to all of the people who send us donations. It is because of you that we are able to afford our platform subscription costs. So thank you for donating. A very special thank you to my co-hosts, Tony, Liberty, and Ben. Thank you for donating your time and investing your energy. I speak for myself, but maybe on behalf of you all too. This show gives me a desperately needed escape from life, life that is all too often not the easy ride we'd like it to be, but we show up for you, right, for each other, for ourselves, because at the end of the day, sometimes it's just fun to talk to friends about your favorite Madonna song, or your favorite Madonna album, or your favorite Madonna tour, or your favorite Madonna movie. And we look ahead with wonder for what's to come in the evidence of its brilliance. And with that being said, remember, everybody, you can find us across all social platforms at MLVC Podcast. You can donate to the show on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. Or if you'd like to make a donation on YouTube, you can hit our like button on any video, and it allows you to donate that way. And if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, tick that subscribe button so you never miss a video. We will be back for season 7 in 2025, probably sometime in late January. But like I said, unless Madonna has other plans and decides to surprise us with something sooner. But yeah, we will be back, and we've got a lot looking forward in 2025. There's a bevy of anniversaries. Desperately Seeking Susan's turning 40. Justify My Love. Immaculate Collection. I think there's Hard Candy, and I think there's a Rebel Heart. I know you're all looking forward to Madonna Summer Movie Series with Swept Away. I mean, come on.
I can't believe it. It's already time for that.
So, yeah. So that's it for now. Until next time, everybody. Just remember, nothing really matters. Love is all we need.
That's right.
Beautifully said.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Santa babies.